Tonight on The Kraken, an epic battle between the two most prolific purveyors of fake news in the United States of America. I am, of course, talking about Stephen, some initial Bannon, and Donald J. Trump. To be clear, I don't like either of these fucks, but I love to watch them fight. Once friends, now mortal enemies. This is big, folks. We're talking Chuck and Tito, Solo and Calrissian, Creed and Rocky. You know, if you watch those movies backwards. The point is, they used to like each other, and now one of them is going to be chucked into the pit of misery.
Pit of misery, dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
But enough hype, let's go.
I have a very good relationship, as you know, with Steve Bannon. Steve's been a friend of mine for a long time. I like Steve a lot.
I'm a street fighter. That's what I am. And by the way, I think that's why Donald Trump and I get along so well. Donald Trump's a fighter. Great counterpuncher.
Threatening to challenge any Republican leader who dared stand in the way of the Trump agenda.
This is not my war. This is our war. They're just looking to find out who's going to be Brutus to your Julius Caesar.
As of tonight, their bromance is now bust.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 26 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, 77.2 kilos. Fighting out of San Jose, California, USA.
Steve Bannon turning on this White House, turning on the president's family.
Furious and disgusted. President Trump ripping Steve Bannon tonight.
Fighting out of the red corner. This man is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record, 16 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds, 76 kilos. Fighting out of Wanaku, Hilo, Hawaii, USA, presenting the former UFC lightweight and the former UFC welterweight champion, the Prodigy.
What's happening? Oh, Donald Trump.
Steve Bannon, quoted in a new book, reportedly using words like treasonous and unpatriotic to characterize that June 2016 meeting at Trump Tower with a Russian lawyer.
Even if you thought that this was not treasonous or unpatriotic or bad and I happen to think it's all of that, you should have called the FBI immediately.
Dumb as a brick.
Quote, the chance that Don Jr. didn't walk them up to his father's office on the 26th floor is 0.
They're going to crack Don Jr. like an egg on national TV.
He's not going to make it, Bannon reportedly said. He's lost his stuff.
Look, this sounds bad, but as long as the president remains calm and doesn't just go ahead and release a statement.
We have just received a statement from the President of the United States. Steve Bannon has nothing to do with me or my presidency. When he was fired, he not only lost his job, he lost his mind. Steve was a staffer who worked for me after I had already won the nomination by defeating 17 candidates, often described as the most talented field ever assembled in the Republican Party. Now that he is on his own, Steve is learning that winning isn't as easy as I make it look. Steve had very little to do with our historic victory, which was delivered by the forgotten men and women of this country. Yet Steve had everything to do with the loss of a Senate seat in Alabama held for more than 30 years by Republicans. Steve doesn't represent my base. He's only in it for himself. Steve pretends to be at war with the media, which he calls the opposition party. Yet he spent his time at the White House leaking false information to the media to make himself seem far more important than he actually was.
Well, which is it? Is he lying or is he disclosing confidential information? Steve, you promised you'd never tell anyone about those terrible things you saw me not do. Remember?
It is the only thing he does well. Steve was rarely in a one-on-one meeting with me, and he only pretends to have influence to fool a few people with no access and no clue, whom he helped write phony books. The president concludes by saying this: we have many great Republican members of Congress and candidates who are very supportive of the Make America Great Again agenda. Like me, they love the United States of America and are helping to finally take our country back rather than simply building it up and seeking to burn it all down.
So hate on, but guess what? I feel like I can't miss. I know they want me to fall, but ain't nothing bigger than this. So just pass me the ball.
Okay, that was pretty brutal. But Steve Bannon, he's resilient. He's still chief editor over there at Breitbart News.
We're going to win.
Tonight, a Breitbart bombshell for Steve Bannon, stepping down less than 48 hours after trying to defuse his verbal grenade.
Okay, that's pretty rough, but, he can keep funding candidates so long as the billionaire Mercer family stands behind him.
Just moments ago, the president continued his barrage on Steve Bannon, saying, quote, the Mercer family recently dumped the leaker known as Sloppy Steve Bannon. Smart. Well, the Mercers are a very wealthy father-daughter duo. They have signaled a severing of ties with the former White House chief strategist.
The president wrote in a tweet, let me read that to you, what you had just a moment ago. Michael Wolff, the author of the book, is a total loser who made up stories in order to sell this really boring and untruthful book. He used Sloppy Steve Bannon, who cried when he got fired and begged for his job. Now Sloppy Steve has been dumped like a dog by almost everyone. Too bad.
But look, he's effectively dead as a political figure.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
He used Sloppy Steve Bannon, who cried when he got fired and begged for his job. Now Sloppy Steve has been dumped like a dog by almost everyone. Too bad.